Hello everyone, and welcome back to today's analysis. As for now, on the 140th episode, we are going to discuss about Santanico Pandemonium, one of the main antagonists in From Dusk Till Dawn franchise. A vampire princess and dancer who dances at a nightclub in order to lure people in to kill them in order to survive. Santanico Pandemonium, and specifically even From Dusk Until Dawn, is one of the best and, in my opinion, one of the most unique vampire franchises ever made. And in this episode, we're going to discuss all that we know about her from the 1996 film From Dusk Until Dawn and the 1999 prequel From Dusk Until Dawn 3, The Handmaid's Daughter, which explains to us her origin story. In order to understand Santanico Pandemonium and how and why she became a vampire. And now, let's begin. Apparently, the third movie has offered us the origin story for her. Apparently, she was born under the name of Esmeralda into the southern United States into the 1890s. And all that we know is the fact that her mother died in childbirth and her father severely and horrifically abused her, as he was the handman of the town and he considers Esmeralda responsible for her mother's death, despite she pretty much didn't do anything to deserve it. And even he admitted that he flirted with the idea of killing her. But soon, by 1913, Esmeralda's life changed forever as she came to fall in love with the outlaw, Johnny Madrid. And so, she and Johnny managed to escape into Mexico as they both vowed to officially leave and start a new life together. Meanwhile, her father and the other people of the town chased after them, and even her father admitted that he wanted to kill her. But sadly, fate had different plans for all of them as they all ended up at the Titty Twister. Where there, sadly, the vampires eventually came on them, and sadly, fate has changed for everybody. As here, Johnny and some other people, managed to escape from them. But meanwhile, Esmeralda wasn't that lucky, and she got beaten and turned into a vampire, not pretty much against her own will. And Johnny sadly had to leave her behind because of what's happened. And now, from here on out, Esmeralda has officially become Santanico Pandemonium, the vampire princess and the top exotic dancer at the Titty Twister, and for over 8 years from now she will perform at the nightclub, luring people in order to kill and drain them from their blood in order to survive. And now, before we continue, we'll now stop and ask ourselves, is Santanico evil? And I understand your point of view, judging by what we discussed so far. But it should be noted here that she has a legitimate tragic backstory. She was severely abused by her father, even he did try to kill her, she never met her mother, and she pretty much did fall in love and care for Johnny Madrid. But sadly, she got turned into a vampire against her own will, and sadly, and that vampiric nature of ultimately took complete control over her, thus causing her to become Santanico Pandemonium. And pretty much, she never wanted to be a vampire to begin with. She never wanted any of these things from the start. And she's pretty much a victim of circumstances. First of all, the circumstances in which she was born and raised in, and now the circumstances of her becoming a vampire. And as the answer ultimately is still pretty much yes, she is evil, but to be honest, she's mostly a tragic kind of evil. And at the end, all her entire tragic life came to an end in 1996, as she got killed by the criminal Seth Gecko, who came alongside with his brother and a family of hostages in order to hide from the US authorities. And so Santanigo killed, drained, and turned his brother, and so Seth killed her to avenge him, putting an end to her tragic life once and for all. So in the end, who was Santanico Pandemonium? She was nothing more but a simple woman who was born and raised into tragic circumstances. A woman that became a literal victim of circumstances in life, whatever brought to be her birth or even her eventual transformation. A woman that sadly became a monster much against her own will and will do anything in order to survive. And sadly, in my opinion, one of the most tragic vampires ever to appear on the screens. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.
Welcome to slavery.
No thanks. I already had a wife.